Welcome to Tush Twins, heard exclusively or not exclusively on MalcolmPresents.com, streaming portal to the exciting world of Zoomcasting. And if you want to know what Zoomcasting is, just call us. Anyway, guys.
We're still trying to figure it out.
If you can figure it out, please let us know.
No.
You can email us. I'll give you my greenworldradio@gmail.com.
Or MalcolmPresents@gmail.com.
Malcolm, even better. Let them bother you. Okay.
They don't bother
I ain't
me.
giving mine.
Well, because you don't remember it.
That's right. First thing to go.
Where am I? Who am I?
You know, they say the memory is
what happened to your antler things?
I'm putting it back on.
Thank you.
It's still Hanukkah, everyone.
Yep. So I'll do the intro.
Do the intro before the show ends.
Yeah. Move over. Move over, everybody. That's including Lucy and Ethel and Laverne and Shirley and all the others. We are the Tush Twins. Woo.
I keep when you say that, I keep thinking of Move Over Beethoven.
Okay.
Move
That's
over the Tush
it's supposed to be Roll Over Beethoven.
No, I think Move Over.
Oh, well, hey. Anyway, here we are. Maxine Faith and Paula Rose, aka Rusty, aka the Redhead. And we bring you through every week our 60 plus years of friendship with some levity and drama and joy and unabashed plutonic love. So we're from Brighton to Coney to NYC to the burbs and out to the whole wide world. We've been through it all, and we will take you through our journey. And we go off in different tangents. And we have our buddy. We have our buddy Malcolm, who he kind of tries to keep us in line. It's kind of hard, but
not going to happen.
No,
but anyway,
it's impossible.
So we're joined at the Tush, and we bring you as much zaniness as we can possibly do. And right now,
I have friends that watch this, and they say, "How come you never finish anything?"
Okay,
we always start and then go on to a tangent.
That's right. Well, that's the fun part. You have
With
to figure it out.
Show, the TTT Tush Twins Tangents.
Tangents.
Right. No, the dangling tangents. So anyway, this is the holiday time of year. It's Christmas
the most
and
Hanukkah
time
of the year.
Kwanzaa and Festivus for the rest of us, right? Holiday traditions. There are people that have crazy, wacky traditions during this time of year. I was just going a couple of things because it brought it right to me. This woman, Jackie Scott, wrote, "We are always full, but every Christmas we go to Denny's at 12 a.m. It's a weird group in there and funny to watch. Believe me, I wound up in a Denny's 30 miles, about 40 miles east of Disney World one Christmas, and nothing was open. And we went into this Denny's, and it was packed, except there was hardly any food left. The manager was waiting tables, bussing tables, making food. People were leaving. The cooks and the waiters, they were just leaving one by one. We're going home. And it's like, I can't even remember what it was that was on my plate. It was practically inedible. But talk about a weird group. So when I saw that, I went, I've been to Denny's on Christmas Eve. You gotta go. And then one woman said that they lived with her grandfather for the first 5 years of their marriage, and he always decorated the tree, but they wanted something that was their own. So they purchased a pineapple and decorated it with lights and ornaments. So there's a Christmas idea.
Okay.
You can just think, if you can't have a tree, get a pineapple. And you call it the Christmas pineapple. And then they said they got a big karaoke machine and they had a great time. I wonder if they diced the pineapple.
I think the strangest place I've been on Christmas Eve is St. Patrick's Cathedral.
I was there.
That's beautiful.
On Christmas Eve?
There too. Yeah. One time. It was a chorus thing or something.
I mean, the majesty of it is amazing.
that whole place is quite something, and
beautiful.
especially on
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 Christmas Eve. But
Christmas
now
Eve.
you have to have reservations, you have to have a ticket to get in.
And you have to be vetted to get in. I mean,
Yes.
at least they did. Probably, I would assume, with all the craziness, they're doing that again.
Well,
But
now you have to be vetted to go to shul on the Jewish holidays.
yeah, well, you have to
Well,
have
not by me.
you have to be vaxxed. Hey, what do you
Vaxxed
do?
and vetted.
Vaxxed
No,
and
but
vetted.
I
But
haven't been to the temple recently, but they used to have like a guard there checking your credentials as you go in.
yeah, they used.
Yeah,
Well,
that's they do in the city.
yeah,
In
they do
Manhattan,
it.
they're still doing that.
No, they do it up. They do it up in Connecticut in the temple I used to go to, and my brother and sister-in-law. They had, especially with all the nuttiness going on with the anti-Semitism rising, and threats, bomb threats in temples. We're supposed to make this a fun, zany thing. What
Well,
is
here's
going
the fun.
on?
I have some
Off the
stuff
rails.
from around the world, Maxine.
Good. Let's.
I
let's
have
sk-
some. You have one. I love the one from Japan. Please tell us about Japan.
Well, I think it's
Well.
been in the news, but Japan celebrates. I don't know that they're really
They really don't
Christian
celebrate
they don't
Christmas.
really celebrate. It's like the Jews who go to Chinese restaurants, or Asian restaurants. I don't. But in Japan, it's all about Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah, I know.
3.5 million Japanese families eat fried chicken on Christmas Eve, thanks to a marketing stunt by KFC in the 1970s called Kurasumatsu Niwa. And a huge percentage of the Japanese population go to KFC ever since that. And it's the KFC Christmas meal in Japan. And customers have to pre-order dinners, otherwise, months in advance. Otherwise, they
Yes.
might not get fried chicken. So just think, coming real soon in a few days, all our Japanese friends out there in Japan will be eating KFC. How do you like that?
I like that. I would eat it. It's too salty for me, but I would eat it.
All right.
My thing is from Sweden.
Okay. Sweden.
Sweden, they have a thing called the Yule goat. Now, it started back in the ancient days in pagan festivals. Then in 1966, the tradition got a new life. It's 42 feet high, 23 feet wide, weighs 3.6 tons.
Whoa.
That's a big goat.
Yes, the goat is constructed on the spot.
Wow.
And it stays there till New Year's Day, and then it's taken down.
And then they eat it.
Wow.
No, this is metal. That the old one they used to sacrifice to goats.
Oh God, no, that's not.
This
that's
one
not-
is a pagan goat. This is a Yule goat. They made this a symbol of Christmas for Sweden. Very thin. People come from all over Sweden to see this.
Wow. Well, if you go to Mexico, you can have the Night of Radishes.
The Night of Radishes?
Radishes, yes, a festival
Okay.
in which merchants and artisans sell radishes that have been intricately carved to depict nativity scenes, local wildlife, familiar architecture, and other relevant displays. The radish carvings are sold as Christmas centerpieces, and the creator of the best radish design wins some money.
But that's good. If at the end of the Christmas you can eat the radish, it's no waste.
There's no waste.
It's ecologically feasible.
I don't know. I think it's a great idea. Personally,
I think it's great.
I like the tradition they had when I was one time in Puerto Rico on Christmas Eve. You have a group of carols come over to your house, singing the Christmas carols. You invite them in, for cookies, candy, whatever you have, and then you go out with them to the next place.
Oh,
I like the cookie part.
The cookie part, but then you go with them and they keep adding people.
They keep on adding
By the time you
people,
get to the last house, there's going to
By
be
the
100
la-
people
but-
in their house.
Yeah. Aside from the fact that you're completely drunk,
Right.
Because everybody offers you.
Oh, healthy
Little
narrow
I'll have the spiked eggnog. Sure, I'll take it. Tastes like candy.
to that.
No.
They were singing the Christmas song of Alveno Malcano Malcano.
Oh, right. That's not even close. I mean,
Well,
Hanukkah is also right now, and
remember, I'm
Kwanzaa's
drunk.
coming up too. But there's one that I think is one of the wackiest, because I mean, people know South Park, they know Mr. Henke, right?
I love that one.
Anyway, Mr. Henke episode of Christmas Pooh. Was it a Christmas Pooh? Was that?
Hi-ho.
Well. In the Spanish region of Catalonia,
Catalonia.
there is a unique tradition called Tio de Nadal. And it roughly translates into the Christmas log, but they actually call it the pooping log. The pooping log. Seriously? They hollow out a log, they give it a face, legs, and a little red hat. And families feed the log every night by filling it with presents and candy. And they also put a blanket over the log to keep it warm. A warm log.
Logs get cold also.
I guess.
This is a very warm, stinky log.
On Christmas Eve, the log is placed in the unlit fireplace, and members of the family take turns bashing it with a stick, commanding it commanding it to defecate out the presents and candy. This is the strangest kind of piñata, parallel, while singing traditional songs. Okay, they're bashing a log filled with toys and stuff and they use the word defecate. I mean, is that what happens to the piñata when you hit it? The piñata that looks
pukes.
The piñata looks like a donkey. Is it defecating out candy for the
candy? That's going to be in my head the rest of my life.
It's like
piñata defecating.
If you see a piñata party and you see all the candy comes out, just think about the pooping log.
I love Austria. Austria is one of my favorite things. This is really a cool one. They have in the Alpine countries in Austria, they have a legend that a devil-like creature, his name is Krampus. He joined their St. Nicholas festivals on December 6th. Children are asked for a list of if they're good or bad and what they want, apples and sweet, but they worry if they're not good that Krampus is going to leave them in the morning. So they're worried about this ugly creature.
Krampus. That's what his name. The name is Krampus.
Krampus. Here.
Krampus.
There he is.
Oh, that is ugly.
That's
very
scary.
Ugly.
That's scary. Yeah.
He throws particularly bad children into his sack or chains them in his basket and carts them off to hell. Wow, I can't wait for that. Wow, we have it pretty good here in the good old US of A. It's like Santa, Santa Claus is coming to town, but how old, do you get this to your kids before they say, we know you went to like Toys R Us. What are you fooling us? What age does that start, Malcolm?
You mean there's no Santa Claus?
I guess for a while in childhood there is, but then I think when at what point do they get the that this is kind of made up and made them happy while they were little kids?
Well,
and then
actually I know that, but I was 47 at the time that I found it out.
You did? Took a while.
I still love my Yule goat and Krampus.
Krampus, Yule goat, and radishes.
I like that.
And the pooping log,
Oh, my other one is Iceland. They have a great thing. Instead of 12 days of Christmas, they have 13 days leading up to Christmas. The Icelandic children are visited by 13 Yule lads. After placing their shoes by the windows, the little ones will head up the stairs to bed. In the morning, they either receive candy if they're good or greeted with shoes full of rotten potatoes if they're bad.
Right.
And you thought coal was bad. You thought that was a horrible gift. They get rotten potatoes.
Wait. And there's more. There's more.
Oh.
Wait. Dead horse caroling in Wales. I repeat. Dead horse caroling in Wales. Okay, you're
I
familiar with
wish you were
you're-
dead,
you-
horsehead.
you're-
I wish you were dead, horse.
Wait, let me get to this. With Christmas caroling, and you're definitely not familiar with carolers who might show up at your door in Wales, because at some point in December or even January, you could open your door to find someone hidden by a ribbon and a bell adorned sheet holding up a real horse skull on a stick, with a
Oh.
few fellow revelers in tow who must be all wasted. And as part
I
of
want to
this,
go.
it's called the Gray Mare tradition. The group will sing to you and then challenge you to a battle of rhyming insults in Welsh.
Oy
After the
vey.
contest, the party is usually invited inside for refreshments. What is with these things? Horse heads, scary like Satan. I mean,
Rotten potatoes.
rotten potatoes. At least the radishes, at least that's a good thing. I mean,
I like the giant goat.
and the
Goat.
defecating log.
That's my favorite.
That's
Defecating
my
log.
favorite also, the defecating log.
I mean, that's
And my new tradition is a Hanukkah llama.
right. So there. Yeah.
Well, actually, I think the last night of Hanukkah is on Christmas Day.
Yes, it is.
So Christmas, and look, hey, the KFC Japanese thing is compared to all this stuff is like wow. But
Well, the closest I
Hanukkah,
got to the KFAC
the KFC.
going on Christmas Eve, I had a lady there was friends with who's from Malaysia,
Mm-hmm.
and when they got their paycheck, like once every 2 weeks, they would celebrate and go to McDonald's.
Right. Well,
Ugh.
it's a
Because
big thing.
Fine.
they couldn't afford McDonald's during
big
the
thing.
unless they got their paycheck.
Well,
Christmas, you know that most Christmas carols, most Christmas songs today are written by Jewish songwriters.
Well, the most famous
All
one.
of them.
well, I'm
All the
dreaming of a
famous
white
ones.
Christmas.
Yeah,
Yes.
Berlin.
Irving Berlin.
Berlin.
No, I don't think all of them are, but
All the major
the
major ones are written by Jewish authors. Here's the best part though. What is our traditional Christmas tradition?
Chinese restaurants.
Yes, and a movie.
and a movie, and
But what movie? Any
we still
particular
get
movie?
stockings. I don't know.
But
I don't
why
know.
do we go to movies?
Because
And
that's the
Chinese
only thing
food.
open.
Because there's nothing else on television.
What else is open? There is nothing open. Maybe 7-Eleven. I
Well,
mean, people go the last minute to 7-Eleven to try to get a last minute gift, or the convenience store at the gas station.
Well, you know
I
the old
had
joke.
some.
You know
What?
the old joke about the Jewish calendar. I think it's about 5780 or something,
Yes.
5786 or
and
something.
then
Yeah.
the Chinese calendar is 3000 something.
What
Right,
did we
so
do?
What did we do in those 2,000 years?
Right. Well, you know what the Jews call that? The
I'm
Dark
afraid.
The
Ages.
Dark Ages.
Haha.
I
Nah.
told the joke before.
Bit of
And my
boom.
timing is
I
my
know
timing
it.
is bad, and I need a rim shot.
Bit of boom. So we have Christmas things and Hanukkah. I don't know what crazy. I mean, Hanukkah is the festival of lights. Celebrating that long ago. A little jar of oil kept the lights on in the temple for 8 days, and then the Maccabees were able to do their thing. But
Against the Greeks.
yes, so it's
and then the neighbors of the temple said, "Close the lights. We can't sleep."
exactly. So
Hi.
Right?
so anyway, there's 8 days,
8
8
days.
presents. The kids get presents. I think a lot of this has to do with presents, period. I mean,
Well, a lot of
Christmas,
this
Hanukkah, now Kwanzaa,
Kwanzaa.
is starts pretty soon. I think Kwanzaa.
What was the origins of Kwanzaa?
Kwanzaa starts. It's a 7-day celebration, which is pretty modern. That was first celebrated in the 1960s. Actually,
Yes.
each day of Kwanzaa is devoted to celebrating the 7 basic values of African culture. Which in Nguzu Saba, I don't know if I said that right, which is Swahili means the 7 principles. And it's time for families and communities to come together to share a feast, honor their ancestors, and celebrate African and African American culture. So there's
So it's
like
all about culture and
everything.
families.
Family, culture, friends, peace, togetherness.
That's what
And
Hanukkah, that's what Christmas should be
The
about. That's
Christmas-
what Hanukkah should be about. Ramadan,
should-
that's what it all should be about.
Shouldn't be about
Right.
presents at all.
Families and peace
it
Peace,
should be
peace
about
on earth, goodwill to all men.
absolutely.
and women.
Yes,
No, men.
and women,
And women,
primarily women.
especially women.
If you break up women, it's all men.
Well, without woman, there'd be no man.
No man.
You understand that we're the ones. I mean, yeah, you get this. We're going to go on a tangent here. It's going to be bad. I
Okay.
can't see this.
World.
I can't see this ending well in any great shape or form. But we left out one holiday. So
That's
What
a,
holiday
that's,
was
that's a
that?
fun one.
Festivus.
Festivus for the rest of us.
Festivus for the rest of us. And if you're a Seinfeld fan, you'll know what I mean. George's family celebrates Festivus. But little
Mhm.
Festivus started not far from where I am actually sitting in my town in Newcastle, Chappieland. And the writers of Festivus, Dan O'Keefe and his brother, they wrote for the show for Seinfeld.
Right.
So Dan O'Keefe basically said it started from a tradition by his father, Daniel O'Keefe Sr. And it was a way to have a holiday that was secular and not burdened by religious and commercialism on the holiday season. That's his dad. Didn't want, he didn't want any part of the commercialism. He wanted it. Were there feats of strength? Not really. They did have symbols and props, which weren't in the Seinfeld version. For example, one of the main symbols of the holiday, Festivus, was a clock and a bag, and sometimes a clock in a bag. The significance of the bag and the clock was unknown. And when they asked the O'Keefe brothers, what was the meaning of that, Daniel, his father, would say, "That's not for you to know. How mysterious."
It's God's will.
Right. There was no God in this. This is a completely secular kind of thing.
Secular.
Right. So, and there were no costumes and there was no pole necessarily, but there were hats. They wore hats. Some of the favorite hats were a Viking helmet, and the Viking horns were affixed by Play-Doh, a brimless Cub Scout cap, including tinfoil like ornaments, and a pointy dunce cap. And these were manufactured by the boys, So could you imagine this goofy thing that they did winds up on a Seinfeld episode and is probably playing thousands of places around the world right now as we're speaking.
Yes, because it's Festivus for the rest of us.
Festivus for the rest of us.
I don't know whether there are any more episodes, but there's one episode that Jerry Stiller, they come over their house for Festivus.
Yes.
And Jerry Stiller explains what the holiday is.
That's the episode. Right, that's what we're talking about.
And then they have the stick to do the grievances.
The pole, they have the stick. Each one
pole.
gets the stick. You can say your grievances. And then they have the pole and the feats of strength, which the writers say they embellished on those things. But the fact that they had, and they didn't, the main thing, the clock and a bag, and sometimes a clock in a bag. What did that mean?
Because they want to stop time or hide time.
Maybe it's Groundhog Day. It just keeps going
over and over and over again.
Hey, almost getting close. Groundhog Day.
It's my favorite holiday.
What is the origin of New Year resolutions? Do you know that?
The origin of New Year's resolutions?
Right. Why does that people have to make resolutions for New Year's
because they want a new beginning, and if they think they're gonna go on a diet, they're gonna claim to everyone, I'm gonna go on a diet.
Generally, January 3rd,
and they never last.
Yeah, January 3rd, January 4th, the diet's over, if it lasted that long.
Yeah, it's, I guess it's we could Google it. Or as my husband goes, when I have a question, he goes, ask your phone.
That's right. That's almost like speak to your hand.
Ask my phone, so.
Speak to the hand.
Yeah. Dennis does that too.
Right? Ask your phone?
Oh,
does he say ask your phone?
He goes to words? No, he says, ask your phone, talk to Google.
Seriously. My
No,
guy says, ask your phone. I don't know. Does your wife ever tell you to ask your phone, Malcolm?
No, she knows. I
Mine
don't.
does ask Google.
Ask
Google
Google.
knows the world.
I skip
Oh
the
my.
phone. That's what I do if I have a question or she has a question. Let's go to Google. But it's
Yeah.
amazing. It works.
It does.
Amazing. It's beyond.
Google is godsend.
It's incredible. And
I
and
think
how,
Google is God.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's going to be
It's
the
all
new.
knowing.
I mean, now we know it.
now we
It's
know
all
it,
knowing.
and we have to show it.
We
But
have to do a show on that.
Oh, we're gonna
Google.
have a new
We have-
new festival. It's called the Google.
Google.
We're gonna praise Google, bow
Google
down
it.
to Google.
What does Google look
Bow
like?
down to Google.
What is? Well, there's
And
Googleplex. Google,
it's
isn't
Google,
Googleplex a number or something?
and is Google masculine or feminine?
Well, Siri
It's
is when you ask
binary.
Siri, it's feminine.
Well, Google is binary. It's both.
Well, Siri, no, well, ask Google. It doesn't have a Siri. It just, I mean, it just has you could ask it a question on your phone.
It won't answer, it
Apple
just-
is Siri and Alexa is Amazon, but they all get together. I wonder if they have a mahjong night. I don't know. They're
They
all
would take
women.
over they all got together. They would take over the world.
They're gonna play bunco.
Oh God.
Wait, we have to.
I won
before
this
we-
week.
But
I
you
won.
did. Good.
I
Where's
did.
all
I won
you
30
got all this
bucks.
money for doing this weird stuff, which we're going to talk about next year. We don't have time, but we're going to talk about your weirdness, boy. Talk about a wacko. But anyway, yeah, that's what I'd be talking about. So
What we
wait, you
talking
owe me dinner or lunch.
I
for
owe you
all this
everything.
prize money.
I don't
you
owe
win.
you nothing. I want to give you.
No.
There's
you
a
owe-
difference.
You,
I want to.
Hey guys,
So-
what are we talking about?
We're talking about. She just won. I'm not going to tell you
just-
we're going to talking about. 'cause
No,
it'll
we'll
be in
talk
another
about that
show.
next show.
Next
Our next
show.
show.
It's
Which
yeah,
we
we're
may
getting
not do
to.
next week because you're all tied up.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I'll-
see what day we
she's-
could
You know
get
what? She's
on.
tied up. Yeah, what day?
I wish
you
I was
want.
tied up. Ooh,
Oh.
baby.
Dennis, you'd ask, what if you're tied up? What happened?
Oh, baby.
Oh, baby.
Right,
Wait a
that-
minute. Talk about that.
Baby.
Let's not get off yet until we talk about
Okay.
one of the
okay.
traditions
I
of
want to talk about her being tied up.
wait, no, the polar bears, the dunk, the New Year's
Oh,
dunk in the
that's New
ocean.
Year's.
Coney,
In Coney and in other
Coney.
places around the country. It's not just Coney. They do it.
I think Coney started it, as far as I know.
Yes. My
Well,
father used to take us
So what is
every
it? Someone,
Day.
Lucy, explain. What is it?
Well, every year they get undressed in their bathing suits in 10-degree weather, and they all run into the ocean and go, "Oh, this is great!" And they get out and they all get pneumonia a few days
Yeah.
later. But that's besides the
It's
point.
not
Well,
funny.
that's where they
Come
got
on.
the expression "oy vey."
Yeah.
Oh, they.
Uh,
That's when you have shrinkage.
That's when you have shrinkage. Another Seinfeld episode. Yes, the George and George comes up with all of it. I gotta tell you.
That reminds me of where the four of them get together, and they make a bet. I forgot what it was, but
Yeah, we know what the bet is.
the masturbation.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
We,
And but the funny part, and who's the first one to give in?
was it
To put the money-
Kramer?
Kramer.
Elaine.
Kramer. You
No,
walked-
no,
Elaine wasn't.
first.
Kramer
He
was
walked
first.
in and went, boom.
Put the
Yeah.
money
Put
down.
down
Right, he
his
put-
money.
But then Elaine, I think, was second.
And I
Yeah,
think she was
second.
first. Ask Google.
No. Ask your phone. I wonder what it'll come up with, but a lot of the New Year's Day, they
Okay,
call it the
Google.
plunge.
On the Seinfeld episode about masturbation, who
also-
was the first one to lose the bet?
Did you ask your phone?
It'd be fun.
Well,
Elaine put 50. Kramer was the
Right,
first to
Kramer.
bet.
Okay, I stand corrected.
Yes. After
Kram-
seeing a naked woman in front of his window,
right.
that was the first one. He walked in 2 seconds after and put
Right,
his money
put the
down.
money down and goes, I'm out. He was-
But isn't it amazing that Google knows?
It did. I asked Google.
Google
It-
knows everything.
It told me.
Yeah, it knows where we are. It knows we're doing a podcast.
It knows if
It knows
been
if
bad or
you've been
good.
sleeping.
Okay,
It knows if
when
you're awake
you're awake. It
It
knows
knows
when
if
you
you-
are bad.
or
Yes.
good. So be good
Good.
for goodness sake.
Say,
Woo. You better watch out. You better not cry.
How come they don't have a toy called Mr. Google, or do they?
They
Ooh,
have
should
Mr.
invent
They
one.
have Mr. Hanky.
I like Mr. Hanky's my favorite Christmas
And
tradition.
did they have Mr. Hanky and Mr. Panky?
Yeah.
I like the
Hanky
hanky.
panky.
My baby does a hanky panky. No, but I still love Mr. Hanky from the Christmas Pooh on South Park.
Right.
He makes me
Hi-ho. Yeah, that show is still on. How many years
I
has it
know.
been on?
I watch it every time a new episode comes up. I get it.
Well,
Yeah, guys, I hate to say this, but it's your last. We're down to the last minute.
oh, okay.
Oi, okay.
Well, I'll just say one
Peace
thing.
out, man.
If you wanna track Santa Claus, go on the NORAD website. NORAD,
website?
yes, it tracks Santa Claus for everybody, for the kiddies. It's a great thing. You could ask Google how to find NORAD I have it right here in my notes. NORAD, which is the North American Aerospace Defense Command, it keeps tracking, keeps us safe, does this thing by tracking Santa and his
Yes, I've
sled
heard of
flying
that.
over. So you can go NORAD tracks Santa at outlook.com or 877 HI NORAD. And the kids, it's kind of fun because it'll say it's over Catalonia, Spain, or wherever, or maybe we're gonna see does he ever bump into Krampus or Krampus, whatever? I don't know.
Well, also, I wish people a very Merry Christmas, but instead of giving toys to people that kids can use them, but a lot of families can use food. So if you have any time or to donate any food to any of your homeless shelters
Food
or
banks.
to the food banks,
Right.
please do so because they really can use it during this holiday season.
Right.
That's
So I
definitely-
advise everyone, I beg everyone to do that.
Yep.
and you give love. That's
Yes.
missing.
Peace
Because
and
people, the
love.
kids can use food more than toys right now.
Well, I'd say peace, love,
Or a
and
little-
and sanity towards everyone in the world. We need
Uh,
sanity.
Peace, love, and insanity.
Insanity. Well, we'll see
right.
you guys next week. Have a very
Catch you next
happy
week.
holiday.
Happy
Good
holidays.
marriage and
Shalom.
have a Merry Christmas.
Merry,
Have a
merry, as
Merry
they
Christmas,
say.
everybody.
Yeah, find
Bye.
Merry, merry by the tokens. Bye.
Yes.
Had
Have
to
a
get that
Merry,
for you.
Merry
Bye.
Christmas.
Merry, merry. Woohoo.